So, you want to draw hands like this or hands like this? Well, I have some tips and tricks for you. I know what it's like to struggle drawing hands. Trust me, what I did, I was so incredibly fixated on My Hero Academia for years to the point where it consumed my every waking moment. And I wanted to know like the whole behind the scenes situation. And I learned that Horikoshi, the manga artist, also struggled with hands. So what he did, he drew hands every day, all day, every day, until he got good at them. So that's what I did. So now hands come a bit easier to me. Also, we will be talking about anatomy of the hand, but it's not going to be like a long speech about all the 15,000 hand muscles or whatever. We're just going to focus on the main three that are important to me when I draw hands. Also, this is not like a realistic hand tutorial where I'm just going to pull realistic hand out of my ass thing. This is specifically my process and what I'm taking into consideration when I'm drawing hands. Hands come in many variations. Some are fat, chubby, long, slender. Depends on what you want to draw. So to summarize this long intro, this is more of a tips and tricks guide and my process of how I draw hands. So before I go any further, let's get into it. So the first thing I want you to do is study your own hand. Like make weird poses with it, feel around your fingers and palm for the muscle and bone structure. Just take like 5 minutes, pause the video, and just study your own hand. Now that you're back, I have a stock image of some hands I pulled from Google that will be our base today. So how I start drawing hands is with the pocket shape for the palm, because pockets are supposed to be shaped to the palm so we can put our hands in them better. Unless you're wearing feminine jeans, in which case that shit ain't holding nothing. So I know this looks scary. Don't run away. This is just a simple breakdown of the main muscle groups I'm considering when drawing hands. So these three muscle groups, these are the thenar, which is the thumb muscle. The little bean-shaped one is the hypothenar, which is where like the pinky and stuff bends. And the top squiggle group is like the padding for the knuckles. Thumb muscle moves and stretches when the thumb moves too. So for lack of better terms, it's like the squishiest one. The hypothenar though, if you bend your hands, you can see it's not bending. Think of it as like a pillar for your hands. And then the padding, it moves with the four main fingers. Up, down, side, side. Also, if you look at your hand, you'll notice the four fingers don't sit in a straight line on your hand. The middle finger is generally at the highest point, and the ring finger and pointer finger are along the same point, and your pinky is furthest down your hand. You can think of this as like a mountain shape on top of the padding on your palm. Something to also keep in mind is the middle finger is usually the same length as the palm. So if you're unsure of how long to draw the fingers, try drawing the middle finger first. I like to draw a circle in the middle of the palm where the bones of my fingers and thumb connect to. And then we draw a line where the joints in our fingers are, so we know where the flesh and muscle are supposed to like dip around. If you feel your fingers, you may notice your fingers are in a bit of a wavy shape. That's because the joints in our phalanges are more prominent than the rest of the bone. Typically, the first pinky joint will line up right under the last ring finger joint. And then the thumb will line up right around the knuckle of the pointer finger. After we've got our basic structure and knowledge in mind, it's time to draw around the structure. You don't have to do this part, but I like to add little bumps where the wrist starts. It's pretty easy to accidentally make the thumb look like a big toe. How to avoid that is remember that fingers are more triangular and toes are more rounded at the tips. Then we get to add some little lines where the muscle groups peek out. Also, keep in mind, the hand is not a 2D object. It is 3D. It has many sides to it. So when you're trying to draw at a different angle, just think of those shapes we learned today in a 3D form. So here I have a few images I found off Pinterest that I think are good drawing exercises. Feel free to draw along. Never be afraid of using references. People who call it cheating don't know what they're talking about. I literally have an art degree. We use references all the time. So with that, let's go. Another tip, if you spread out your fingers, they're in a fan shape. So when you're drawing perspective like this, keep that fan shape in mind. Also, for a really good perspective tutorial, check out this tutorial by Syncra. I've been using it for literal years. One last tip for you today. If you really struggle with something you want to do, like drawing hands or picking up a new hobby, don't be scared to mess up. Yeah, there's gonna be jerks everywhere that try to make fun of you for being a beginner, but that's because they're mad you were braver than they were. And you're already one step ahead of them by trying. So, tackle that shit. Also, if you like this video and you want more tutorials, tips and tricks, I don't really know what to call this, like and subscribe and hit that bell. I'll see you later, everyone. Don't forget to drink water, eat food, take your meds if you need to, and sleep. Bye, guys.